Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for joining me today. Now we're going to put a design for November. So I've got my November calendar page and I've made a sneaky little start here. And what I thought is November, I'm going to go a bit vintage. I just fancied a nice sort of vintage theme for November. And I've got an idea ready for December. But that's what this calendar gets you doing. You start thinking what you're going to do the following month. So if you're somebody who your mojo's gone a bit, because he disappears for a bit. Do you know what? As soon as our new calendars come out, I will let you know. I promise they are in the pipeline. Do you know what? I would urge you to get one because it's a great way of bringing your mojo back. Because honestly, I honestly start thinking about the next month when I'm actually doing a month. And I've done mine in order just because I thought it might follow well. But if it was me, I'd be choosing certain months to do and I wouldn't do them in order. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with November. Now, because I want a vintage feel, I'm going to come in with the Elements ink pad, Sahara, and my lovely stencil brush. This is number 9, the larger one. And I'm just going to add a bit of a sort of aura across the page. So I'm going to dip some ink off in the lid. Now, I just need to move this slightly. But I just need to check I'm still in shot. You know what I'm like, I do wander off. Now, I'm doing this first before I do my stamping, just so I don't smudge my stamping. But very gently, I'm just going to start and tickle. So if I just bring this down, just on the edge here. And don't be too hard on yourself. You will sort of get, you know, uneven coverage, but that's fine. We're going to stamp on top of this. So like I say, don't be too hard on yourself. I want a little bit of colour up there. And as I come down, there's less colour on my stencil brush. And I just want to bring it sort of down towards this edge here. I'm just going to get a little bit more. And it's just to take the whiteness off. And this is such a lovely colour, this. It's sort of an orangey brown, a bit of a, dare I say, a dirty brown. But I wanted a vintage feel, but I didn't want it too dark. But I'm just building the colour up here. And again, very gently. Take that corner a bit deeper. Just want that corner a bit deeper up there. Right. You know what I say? I nearly said it. I'm happy with that. So we'll pop that over there. And the stamp I'm going to use, I've gone for the lovely Cone Branch. And for this, I'm going to use my Pine Cone. No stamping in black today. I'm just going to use the VersaFine Clair, the Pine Cone. I've just caught the block there, so Mr. Inky Binky. So I'm going to come in and just pop one up here. And I want a few of these. Oh, that's lovely. So I'm just going to build up a nice sort of shape. I use this stamp so much. Look at that. And I'm thinking a design just coming across. And that's why I've put the ink in that sort of shape across. I had a plan, a cunning plan. And I've just caught my block again, so get so carried away, so excited. I do tend to over ink. So I'm thinking, let's have a look. I think we can have one more there. Oh, missed a bit there, but don't worry. I'll say I did that on purpose to show you how we can get round that. Because I wasn't concentrating, I was too busy thinking about, oh, I think I'll add a second generation. Where shall I add it? So I'm thinking, let's add another one here at this angle. And then I'm thinking one more here. And then just a second generation in there. Yeah, see, I like that. Just think a bit second generation there, don't you? So let's ink it up. Now, do we need another first generation? No, I think that comes too far across. No, so I'm going to grab a piece of copy paper and just put my first generation on there. And then let's come in with a second. What should we, oh, there, yeah, there. Yes. See, I quite think there, but I'm not, no, I think that will be too, if you're not sure, like I always say, use your acetate, get your acetate and have a look. So I'll just give that stamp a wipe and pop it away. Now, to come in with this, I've got a couple of pound stamps. We've got the mini berry and the mini holly. And I'm going to add these to the design. But I'm going to use my black. I know the holly, you could bring in your green if you wanted. But for this, I just want to keep mine vintage. So I'm going to use my brown. I may have just said black, but I meant brown. And I'm thinking first, and I just want to build it up with first and second generation. I love the second. I don't want to overdo it, but I do want to just add a few and again, at home, you will take your time with this. And the good thing is with this, it might give you an idea for a Christmas card. And I know, you know, we shouldn't really be saying that word now, but I think this would make a lovely Christmas card. And again, I'm just tying the second generation there with the second generation. Now, what I can do, I'm not sure how much more holly I want. So I'm thinking I'll come in and I'll add a few berries because I know I definitely want some of this lovely berry. And again, if you're clever, look, you can make it look like it's just hanging. So I definitely want one of these on the end here. And I'm thinking what we could do is we could have the berry there and then come in with the holly there, where it, see, nobody will ever know that that was a misstamp. And then let's have a berry there, and maybe a second generation one there. And what's nice with this berry is you can ink it up, look, and take a little bit of the stem off and a little bit just of the top of the berry. And then stamp it. Let's have a look here. And it looks like it's behind the fir cone. So again, I'm not going to overcook it with these. I don't want too many, but maybe a second generation one there. What we're thinking. And again, just take your time. Right, we got one there. Maybe just a little bit of part of one there. Maybe just part of one there follows that line. I think we need a bit of holly there. Just coming off there, yeah. And like I say, you just take your time. Just build up, be mindful all the time of the shape. You know, we don't want a pizza, we don't want it to look like but we're trying to get that flow this way, that shape. And hopefully we've kept that nice shape there. Now what I am going to do is, before I add some colour to the berries, I've got this lovely background sentiment stamp. It's called Winter Magic, and it's got lovely words on, such as icicles, magic, wonderland. And I'm thinking of adding a little bit of, now I'm not sure, it could be second or third generation, so my suggestion is ink it up, get yourself a piece of copy paper, and we'll just go first generation, so that's your first lot of ink, second generation, you haven't re-inked, and third generation. Now I like third, so I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Now, an ideal tip here, I'm not doing this today, but if you had some spare card, instead of popping your first and second generation on the copier paper like I'm doing, you could create yourself some backgrounds ready for your Christmas cards. That's what I would do. But obviously today I'm just taking the first and second off on my copier paper. Let's have one over here. Wonder if we've got a little bit left. Oh yeah, see, look at that's fourth. So we just need one more lot, I think, to keep that shape going. So 1, 2, little bit there. There we go. Right, so now I think let's add some colour to this. And I've got my watercolour pencils. And we've got a couple of reds here, a deeper one and a lighter one. So I'm just going to come in first with the deeper one. And I'm going to do all my little berries on the holly with the deeper one, and then just the base of my bigger berry with the deeper one, and then I'll come in with the lighter one, and I'm going to use the lighter one on the second generation ones. And as I say, again, at home, you would just, you know, make yourself a brew, just sit and spend some lovely time relaxing, adding this colour. And I'm just leaning on my bit of kitchen roll here. You can use copier paper. It's whatever floats your boat. I mean, again, for me, it's just to make sure that I don't press too hard, or if I've got ink on my hand. Oh, I missed those. And it is funny when you're doing this, and I'm sorry if my head comes in shot, I'm trying to keep it away. You will suddenly realise there will be odd ones you'll miss. But like I say, you just relax, just enjoy this colouring in. Now I'm doing my berries classic red, but you know what, I've seen some lovely artwork with them in blues, purples, and again, it's your artwork. You know, if it might be you're going to hang this in your craft room, and blue's your favourite colour, so you know you don't have to do them red. And again, you don't have to go vintage. Like I say, I just thought the holly, I'd keep it all brown and vintage tones, but it looks lovely in shades of green. Obviously the old Shady Lady, aka Shady Lane, she's fabulous. And just take your time, colour them in. Now, I've said before, it's like watercolour pencils. I am going to add some water to these, but you know, you can leave them just actually where you've added the colour. You don't have to add water. Now, we are colouring on top of our Elements ink, which is a dye-based ink, so I know it will move slightly with the water, but that's fine because this is a vintage type effect I'm after. Right, so if you have a look, can you tell me, have I got all those berries? There's a couple there. Have I missed any? You know what, when I finished recording, I'll look and I'll go, oh, I can't believe you missed those. Right, I think I have, so we'll pop those down. And I'm just with a brown, just for a bit more oomph, I'm just going to go over my fir cones. Now again, you don't have to do this, you can leave them with the white highlights, but I just think they look a bit deeper, a bit richer. But totally your choice. Just almost adds a little bit more depth to the design. So I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you're having a good week. Hope it started well. It's always bodes well, doesn't it, if your week actually starts well. Right, watercolour brush. Just going to dip a little bit of the water off, and I'll start first with the berries, and we'll just add. And again, this is the #1 in the Lavinia watercolour brushes. It's my favourite. I know you shouldn't have favourites, but it's a nice fine. And I just take the majority of water off on my Inky Binky. And I know it means I've got to, you know, dip it in my water pot more, but it just saves it dripping. Just add a little bit of colour here. And again, like I keep saying, you will take your time. Now you could add glossy accents to your berries, some of our liquid pearls. Right, I'll clean my brush, and then we'll just add a little bit over our lovely fir cones. And again, at home I would give this time to dry before I do the next bit, but obviously today we'll just go ahead and do the next bit because we're like that. But you see the difference just adding that, and it really sort of brightens it up a little bit. Now you could add some water splats for faux bleaching, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait and add some Posca at the end. So quick look, and they've all. And I'm just going to run my heat tool very quickly over that. Now again, as I say, at home I wouldn't. Just to dry those berries a little. Now I am going to add some stickles, some glitter, and I'm going to do a bit of a dot and dab with this. And I'm just going to, quite often I paint it on, as you know, but for this design I'm going to dot and dab. So just exactly where I want it, I'm going to come in and just dot, and then with my finger just dab. And that way I'm just spreading it, and because we've got a dye-based ink underneath, it will, and that moves with water, and obviously you've got water in your glitter glue, so it will almost take those colour tones, but it will dry beautifully. And it will keep that vintage sort of colour tones. It'll almost look like vintage sparkle. Just put a little bit more up there, so dot and then dab. So that's why it's looking a different colour, because like I say, we have got a dye-based ink underneath, and that's the elements. But it will dry beautifully. So I just need to wipe my finger. And what we're going to do is add some white highlights. Now, because this might not be dry, even though I've used my heat tool, hopefully we'll just get the idea. Going to add little dots on. And this, to me, makes all the difference. You'd be amazed as you go what a difference this makes. So all the little berries, a line or a dot. On the smaller ones, we're just going a dot. And again, this is where you look and you think, oh, I've missed a bit. Oh, you see, you missed one there. So when you're shouting at me, you've missed a bit. Now, if you wanted to add any snow on any particular branches, you can. And I'm not going to for this. I just like it on the actual. Oh, see, we've missed those. See, while I'm talking, I'm frantically looking, thinking, have I missed a bit? We'll just add a line there. Again, on your, if you want to add. But for me, I think for the highlights, oh, we've missed a berry there. Oh, did anybody see that? I need to, that's why it's that one that was hiding, look, where we took some of the ink off. So I'll just add, and I can't leave that. So I'm sorry, we're just going to have to add a little bit of pencil. And I'll add my white highlight later to that. Oh dear. Right, last little thing, some splats. Now I'm coming in today, this is the ivory Posca, only because I didn't want it bright white. With having a vintage feel, I just fancied ivory, and you'd be amazed the difference. So as always with Posca, give it a good shake. If it's a new pen on your mat, give it a pump. Oh, now this I think we might get big splats, so I'm just gently going to tap it. Because I've pumped it up, it's going to be ready for action, definitely. Now, depending whether we get a blizzard or we get a light flurry, but you know what, November, December, January, they're all months where you can get away with, apart from, I know, obviously you ladies in Australia watching, I know you tell me you don't have snow, so you might want to do this with other florals, but again, you could do the same shape and maybe use some of your other florals that are in flower sort of in November and December for you. And again, maybe leave the snow off. But you could have splats of another colour, depending if you've got blue flowers. And again, we'll just build it up a little bit over here. Right. What I do need to do is wipe up this little bit on my mat where I pumped it up. Otherwise, we'll be getting that on the back of our calendar, and that won't do, will it? So if I take my copy of paper out, and then there we have November. And if I just show you, so before we started, I did a little bit at the side here, just with the pound stamps, and a little bit at the base there, just so the whole design ties together. And again, we've got that flow across the page here, and that there. And for me, I think that is absolutely stunning. And also, I think that would look lovely on a Christmas card. And you know, you could alter it depending what size you're doing. That would look nice on a 6x6. If you're making, you could do it in the circle mask, and just do, you know, this little part of it. And I still think that would look stunning. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you have a lovely week. I will pop back and see you tomorrow with another little crafty chat. So make that a date, add it to your calendar. You take care, everybody. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.